So that's what makes me think that it's her turn that's coming up. So.
Good evening, Prescott Valley. Welcome to the Parks and Recreation Commission meeting of Tuesday, August 11th, 2015. Kathy, can we have a roll call?
Commissioner Frere.
Here.
Chairperson Brinkman.
Here.
Vice Chairperson Tissot.
Here.
Commissioner Trevini.
Here.
And Commissioners Avalos and Fallman will not be attending this evening.
Okay, but we still have a quorum, so if everybody's had a chance to look at the agenda, can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
And a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that carries. And then if we've had a chance to look at the June 9th, 2015 regular meeting minutes, and there's no changes, can I have a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from June 9th, 2015.
In a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And it carries. Let's move on to the exciting part. And this we'll start out with some really neat announcements. And the first item is punt, pass, and kick. And we have Jessica Compton with us tonight.
Hi.
And she has all of the answers.
I have all the information. So this past Saturday, we held our annual punt, pass, and kick. We had 18 boys and 3 girls participate. So all of our girls have advanced to the next round. And then we have, Lucia Natch, Lucy Chatelain, and Amber Anonetti. And then Ryan Anonetti again, Dylan Williams, Peter Natch, Joshua Grant, and Dylan Kotnick. They will be going to Payson and participating there. And if they are the top in their age group there, then I believe they go on to the state exhibition, which is at a Cardinals football game. And so that date will be determined at a later time. So as we get more information, we'll let you know about who has advanced on past the regional. Next year's date will be August 13th, 2016, so mark your calendars. And it'll be at Mountain Valley Park on the pavilion field again. Fingers crossed. So
Yeah.
we had a good turnout, more than last year. A lot of parents that were new had never participated before, so it's always nice to see that. We had it up on the sign, it went out in the school flyers, newspapers, so it's slowly picking up momentum.
That's great. We always have some pretty good competitors in punt, pass, and kick, so let's hope some of them move on. Our next item is adult softball.
Let me switch slides. And view, sorry. You know. Oh gosh. You can tell I do this a lot, don't you? Okay, so fall softball starts August 24th. Last year we had 44 teams, and actually this has changed as of this afternoon. We're now up to 45 teams, so we are above what we had last year in numbers. Men's softball is really growing, so that's great to see. And then our co-ed is also picking up. Co-ed is actually Mondays. Makeups are on Tuesdays, and men's is on Fridays. Games do start the 24th. Weather considered. Hopefully, usually our first week or two we get some sprinkles, so hopefully we can play through that. Most of our staff is returning this year, so that's always nice when we have those umpires and our site supervisor, because everybody knows them and they get along well. Games are 6:30, 7:30, and 8:30 on Monday nights, and then 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, and 9:30 on Friday nights, because we do have that increase in the men's leagues.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Questions? No?
Okay, how about the Rough Riders Soccer Clinic?
So, wait, this mouse is great. The Rough Riders Soccer Clinic is going to be held this Friday, and it is at Mountain Valley Park. It's from 6 until 7:30. It's free. All the participants will receive a special souvenir gift, and they can come and meet the men's soccer team before their season opens. Questions on that? I don't know the ages or anything.
Is that usually really well attended? I mean, the Rough Riders are pretty well known. So.
They are well known, so I think it just depends on weather, and it is the second week of school, so now that the first week's over, they've kind of gotten into that routine, so hopefully more will show up. We've gotten quite a few phone calls about it, so that's always good, and it is in a consecutive year, so hopefully attendance will increase.
Sounds good.
So Jessica, I'm sorry, what? Oh, and participants should bring their own ball.
And I had a question. Do they have to pre-register or?
They do not have to pre-register. You can just show up, I believe.
Okay.
But if you have more questions, we recommend that you do contact the Rough Riders Association. They have a website. You can click on that, or you can call, and all of their information is listed there.
Jessica, I have a question. How many did you say attended last year?
I do not know the numbers of last year's attendance, unfortunately. Sorry. But we can find that out for you.
I was just curious how many we had last year and how many we might be expecting this year.
It's totally through Yavapai College Soccer, so that's why we don't have those numbers.
Okay.
And up here, the Yavapai soccer program is really well known, and they have done received acclaim really across the country. So they're kind of a special group. They're usually really high-quality soccer players. So let's hope our community gets out there and takes advantage of that. They can get some one-on-one training, and that's not always easy to do. So that'll be a really good program. Now, moving on, how about some new staff introductions? It is great to have some new people.
Okay, first we're going to introduce Brent Juries, also known as Bruno.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, I'm Brent Juries. I started out as a seasonal for Parks about 4 years ago. Then I moved to Public Works. They had a full-time position going, and then now I'm back here. So, as a building maintenance tech.
That's great. Well, welcome back, and we're glad to have you. You know, things have been a little tight, so we always need some more help in the parks, and you have experience, so
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah, lots of experience. 20 years as a carpenter and all sorts of different things.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Next we have Adam Garner, and I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hi.
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 My name's Adam Garner. I actually got hired on about a month and a half ago. I came from CH, the water company. So I have 8 years experience in distribution systems. So the water systems here, because I'm the new irrigation technician, I took over for Nick. Pretty similar, just a lot smaller. Lots to learn as far as turf goes, but I'm enjoying it. So I'm in charge now of all the new installs. We're getting ready to start planning Bob Edwards Park, all the design and layout there. So
Outstanding. You know, Nick kind of paved the way for you, and he did some really amazing stuff
Yes, he did.
with the park irrigation systems. And the commission's always very excited when we can conserve water. Water conservation is really a huge thing for us. And so you taking over that and having that experience is just outstanding. So we
Yeah,
really
well,
appreciate that.
thank you. I'm really grateful to have Nick is still here being my teacher, because I can just kind of pick up where he left off.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And the turf, that'll come along. We got some really good experts at that.
Yeah, we do.
All right. Well, thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
And next we have Megan Murphy. She is our new recreation coordinator.
Hi, I'm Megan Murphy, like Jessica said. I grew up in Sierra Vista. Then I went to Penn State for college, where I got a degree in recreation management. And then I got my master's about 2 years ago from Arizona State University in community resources and development. My part of my job here is to help with outdoor programming and leisure classes. So luckily for me, I have Jessica, who was already running them, and now she's handling the sports, and I'm trying to add more programs for youth and adults.
Oh, that's great. Well, Jessica, like Nick, has paved the way in the recreation. If you think back just a few years, some of our recreation programs were less than impressive. I don't know how I should put that. But Jessica has continued to build them, and with you on board, I think we're really going to have a great team.
I'm excited. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, now we'll move on to department update. And That includes the director's report. If everybody's had a chance to look at that, are there any questions or comments?
If you do have questions or comments, Brian asked that you email or call him, and he would be happy to answer those questions.
Excellent. And then the next item is the chairperson's report. And I'm going to start that out. Let's see, Danny's not here, but the Chamber of Commerce presented the 2015 Community Improvement Award for a small project to the town of Prescott Valley for improvements at Antelope Park. If you remember, we've made some pretty amazing improvements there. Let me read a little bit of what it says. With its focus on enhancing and providing the best in parks and recreational activity for the residents of Prescott Valley, the Parks and Recreation Department received authorization from the Town Council to award construction contract and conduct in-house development services for nearly $180,000 of improvements and expand Antelope Park to meet current and future recreational needs. The project included additional 2.5 acres of passive recreational turf, and that turf just made an amazing difference in the park, really. A new ramada, walking path, additional paved parking spaces, parking lot lights, sidewalk, curbing, trees, and fencing. So we were really pleased. Danny accepted the award for us, and we were really pleased to get that award. The next item I'm just going to mention, in our work studies, we have been doing the park development guidelines, and we will continue that in our August 25th work study. When we revised Chapter 8 of the 2025 General Plan, the need for development guidelines was very apparent. And the Commission started these efforts last year. We kind of slowed down, and then we had some new commissioners come on board, and we restarted the first of the year. So we're going to continue that. Our goal is to finalize the guidelines in September and have them ready to present to Council in October. The next item I have is Commissioner Fryer arranged for Patrick Kell, representing the International Mountain Bicycling Association, to come and do a slideshow presentation. It was really an excellent presentation. I learned a lot. I'm not a biker, I'm a walker, but I learned a lot from that. At the end, Mr. Kell said that their trail care crew program, that's almost hard to say, can come and do presentations on bike trails and work with volunteers on single track trails. So this seems like an opportunity the town should take, and we're going to take a look at that. We will open discussion on new trail development at our August 25th work study, and then talk about it some more in September. So we also, at that June meeting, we had some of our community members come and express the desire for more bike trails. So we hear you. And that's really about the only things that I had. Does anybody have a comment or a question? Good. Okay, we will move on to let's see, Tree Advisory Board business. We actually, yeah, I just did.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I really don't have any tree advisory. We've finished our grants. Those are all complete. We will be updating our 5-year plan probably by the end of the year and applying for new grants, but right now there's nothing new. So under old business, we have capital project update and Mountain Valley Splash Pool Pump. And Brent's going to tell us about that.
Yeah, we got a backup pump just in case the one that we have breaks down, so that it's very critical for the pump to be working at all times. So we got one at the shop and switch it out no time.
How long would that take to switch it out?
Take about 3 hours, 3 or 4 hours. It's
Oh, that's
pretty
not-
heavy and it's just a few bolts, but
That's not bad. That's
Yeah.
excellent. Okay. And any questions? No? Okay. Thank you, Brent.
and then scoreboard too. We got new digits for the scoreboard down at the amphitheater, and they're LED. They're a lot better. They can see them a lot better. And we had that installed 2 weeks ago, so it should be running. We got a guy coming out this week to do some little tweaks on it, but it should be working for the soccer game. So
Very cool.
Very good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, our next item is the Glassford Hill Trail. We have had a request into the state since 2010. It's actually been a long-term goal of the town to access the top of Glassford Hill. In March of 2010, the town contracted with Dava and Associates Engineering, who surveyed and provided engineering services and design for a pedestrian trail that would reach the summit. Then an application in May of 2010 went into the state, and in July, the Arizona State Land Department provided a copy of a sales notice. So this starts a formal procedure that hopefully we will get this property. On August 27th, staff, that's all those guys, Brian and staff. I love staff. Will present this sales notice to council requesting approval to obtain the right-of-way from the Arizona State Land Department. The process to provide the needed right-of-way to the town includes a 30-day public notice period and culminates in a public auction to be held on the Yavapai County Courthouse steps on September 22, 2015. I don't know. Michelle, did you go with us when we toured the trail? Okay. This could really be a nice trail up to the top.
Beautiful.
Unfortunately, we currently don't connect to anything. And the town recently, a year or so ago, obtained property on the other side. So I'm not sure how this will work out. Getting this has been a 5-year process, so I think you just take it and do the best you can and hope that later we can connect other trails.
Yeah, it seems like the most important piece is to secure the right-of-way so that we can implement some of those plans. I remember being on the commission back when that was first brought up, and we knew at that point that it would be a multi-year process and that there would be a lot of, just paperwork, basically, that would have to be completed in order for this to move forward. So that's fantastic, from my opinion, that they've moved to that level.
And from my opinion as well, I think it's no secret that this excites me, based on my passion for the outdoors and the trails needed in Prescott Valley. The one thing I do ask when it does either get approved or whatever by the council, that the public has an opportunity to comment on the construction and the look and the feel of the trail. I understand that the right-of-way is in a narrow, however wide path, but user groups need to be consulted and considered on their opinions on how it is. And volunteer labor is another important avenue to help get this built.
Yeah.
Like Patrick Kell mentioned to us in the thing, they have resources that can mobilize large groups of people to help with that. So, my opinion, very exciting times, and hope to see it move forward in a timely fashion.
Yeah, I do too. And now with this, of course, the town's existing right-of-way from temporary leases for the water tanks and water mains will become permanent. So that's another aspect that makes this important. So we hope we can design something good and look at that again, hopefully towards the end of the year. Okay, let's move on to ASA Softball Tournament.
So, I keep doing it wrong. I'm sorry. I apologize. So the town of Prescott Valley had the privilege to partner with the city of Prescott in hosting 2 softball tournaments. The first was Beat the Heat, which is a girls' fast pitch tournament, held June 20th and 21st. We had 83 teams, 9 which were local, 74 that were out of town. They estimate that 555 motel rooms were rented in the Tri-City area, and that brought in $438,972 as an economic impact to the community. So we were able to use all of the fields that Prescott Valley and Prescott offered to make the tournament happen. And we had great results, a lot of great feedback, especially on the quality of our fields, quality of our staff that were working the event, and even some of our seasonal staff who are umpires and site supervisors worked the tournament, so they kind of had that, cross promotion of, hey, I work here and I'm proud of these fields. So, and then the second, do you have questions on the first
No,
one?
I'm just going to say the economic impact of these tournaments is just tremendous.
Yes,
The
it's
whole
great.
community benefits from that.
The Best of the West girls fast pitch tournament was July 17th, 18th. So 17th, 18th, and 19th. 72 teams, 8 were local, 64 were out of town. They estimate that was 560 motel rooms because it was 3 nights, and that brought in $554,540 estimated as an impact. So both tournaments, almost $1 million, benefiting Prescott, Prescott Valley, Chino Valley, because we had some teams who had to get hotel rooms in Sedona. So it was great. So we definitely met the capacity, we used all the fields available, and it was nice to see that much money come into our area.
So we need more fields. More hotels.
Yes, more fields.
Well, yeah, but
And another hotel maybe? Like that
I
would,
don't know about that, but I do like to see more fields. So.
Right. And then in 2016, they hope to continue the collaboration, bring in some more tournaments, and hopefully a national tournament will come to the area, so that'll also bring in some more money and more exposure for how great, we have perfect weather, like just a little bit of wind, but it's sunny, and our fields look great, and so we love to have people come, and it's good.
We do, and people do enjoy coming here, and I think part of the reason is we maintain our fields so well. They have quality fields, they have a great place to come, the community's friendly, and it's still growing, so, maybe we will get those other hotels, and who knows, someday maybe some more fields.
Well, and I would add to that I had heard there were families coming as far away as the Pacific Northwest for some of these competitions. And every time you bring somebody new into this town, you're potentially inviting a citizen to purchase houses, to move their entire family down here. And so the economic impact is much greater than even the numbers that you've got on your screen, but just great job, I would say. I know I watched a couple of the games, and this is very high quality talent. These young women they're amazing. And the fact that they know Prescott Valley and what we can offer here is a good thing. It's a very good thing.
That's excellent. Okay, any other questions or comments? Let's move on then to new business, and the first item is the Arizona Game and Fish Heritage Fund grant. The town has received the Heritage Fund grant, and it would provide needed assistance for both trail and upstream erosion controls that would dramatically reduce sedimentation, impacting the fishery, increase access for shoreline anglers, improve water quality at Fain Lake. We remember back, and I never get my times right, 2 years, 3 years, when we dredged behind the dam at Fain Lake and took out everything. How many? Is it? That's time doesn't mean anything, so thank you.
Oh, my goodness.
But in the meantime, all of these storms we're having wash material down in there. So we know long-term we're going to have to do some really serious work to mitigate that drainage. So this is a start, and this grant will assist with trail restoration work, which Pat and some of the Over the Hill gang have already started. And it will help in looking at ways that we can stop that sedimentation. So as a note, this is also one of those grants that has a matching component. So we will need to get some volunteers out in the community to come out and help us to meet that matching component. So if anybody's interested in volunteering, the town has a website, is it Volunteer Central? Yes. And it's easy to get in there. You'll see lots of opportunities. Come out and help us out. With this, we need action. So with this grant, we need to have a motion to recommend that the town council accept this grant, approve it. So we need a motion for that in a second.
Ron, can you clarify, is there a monetary matching grant from the town that's required, or is it only do we know that detail?
We actually probably could tell you that detail if I looked on page 3 here. Yes.
Offset the.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the town may have a very small
Okay.
dollar amount, but most of it, get your shovel.
Sweat equity.
Right.
Yeah. So do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion to
Okay.
Recommend that the
council approve the acceptance of the Heritage Fund grant.
And a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that carries. Our next item is a work study meeting. We think that if we have a work study on September 22nd, we can wrap up development guidelines, look at trail development a little bit, and have the development guidelines ready for town council in October. So if September 22nd at 5:30 in the Parks and Rec Department conference room is acceptable to everybody, can we have a motion to schedule that?
I'll make a motion to schedule the September work study, September 22nd work study at 5:30.
And a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And it carries. Unscheduled public appearances, I don't think we have any tonight. So moving on, our next meeting, work study, August 25th, and that'll be at 5:30 in the department conference room. Our next regular meeting will be September 8th, right here in the auditorium. And then another work study on September 22nd at 5:30 in the department conference room. Any other comments before we adjourn or questions?
Great job, Jessica.
And if not, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
And a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed? We are adjourned.